Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining us. We've got Tim Murphy, CEO of Rebounderz, on the show with me right now. Tim, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here. Okay, tell us about Rebounderz.
Well, Rebounderz is family entertainment centers. We've been around, actually our anniversary was just this past week, for 10 years. The industry is only 10 years old. We started out with trampolines, quickly grew into family entertainment centers. Now we have 10 locations around the country with 4 more starting very soon.
Okay. Tell us about the development of this and the most interesting technology within the industry, how you're utilizing that.
Well, it started with just the idea of how do we, bring it together a better commercial trampoline park. The founder of the company was a designer and said, I can do better than backyard trampolines. How do I put these things together? And that's kind of how they started when there was, at the time, only 10 commercial parks. We were one of those 10, only one in the state of Florida. And over time, we've learned how the right angles would be to build the right parks for the commercial trampolines. Mm-hmm. As that time progressed, we learned what not to do and what to do, but it was really about the safety. It was a fundamental safety issues to create a better experience, a safer trampoline park than some of those that were just thrown together. And over time, we learned from that, hey, this is a patentable opportunity. So we went out and patented that process because it had the right angles in it. It held them together. And frankly, if you didn't have the framework we call exoskeleton today, this would fall apart. So, which is obviously for safety purposes, you don't want it falling on somebody. So over time, the exoskeleton became the main structure that most trampoline parks used in the industry.
What about patent infringement?
Well, as it started out, Mark, the founder, who was the designer of the product, was a part of the ASTM standards, which is basically the system standards for the industry. And so he shared knowledge. But over time, he said, I'm going to be patenting this process, and I want to make you aware that I will be coming back if you're using my system. So he did patent the process. In 2010, he applied for it, got the physical patent. 2014, a couple different patents, three patents with 59 claims. And now just about everybody, I'd say 85, 95% of the industry is using the patents.
All right, how about monetizing the entire process?
Well, we first looked at it from the point of view, because we became a franchise company. So we franchised out our locations. And if you didn't have the main arena, it kind of gave us a starting point. But if you didn't have the main arena, you wouldn't have a trampoline park. So the main arena is what the exoskeleton is on. And we've learned through our own franchising that others have done the same thing. The Sky Zones of the world, the Rock and Jumps, Altitudes, others have utilized that same type of system in a franchise model. So from our point of view, that's a monetizing piece to it, to where we start. Now, we went out and enforced our patent, had a settlement on 5 parks in 2 different states, and that set precedent as to where we stand with it. So we did go out and we did a settlement process to try to work with others out there that have used the patent to come to a better settlement agreement so they can keep operating, but obviously we get remunerated for use of our patents.
Okay, let's move forward with a few other questions I've got there. You mentioned you've got a safer environment. Can we get into that?
Sure. I mean, obviously, it starts with our patent. So you have to have the exoskeleton for the landing, the way someone lands. So just for instance, if you're, I'm a big runner, but I'm not a big person to jump on the trampolines quite a bit. But you are about 3 times heavier when you're on a trampoline. So you run 3 times faster, you bounce higher based off of what you could physically jump. So with the exoskeleton, if it wasn't the right angles, you wouldn't be able to do that and land safely. But over time, we've learned the safety aspects of the safety protocols. One, from making sure that everyone knows how to operate or be on the trampoline when they come on it. So we have referees that are making sure that are adhering to the guidance. There are videos before you ever get onto the facility. There are landing areas where you land on the trampolines that, for the safest opportunity, you always land on 2 feet. the opportunity of landing on 1 foot rather, you could have a reverberation of when your second foot comes down, the other foot flips up, it hits your other foot, and there's a possibility of either a sprain or a broken ankle or worse. So with our safety standards, as well as having camera angles in the ceiling to understand what's going on and making sure everyone's okay, that has helped endorse our facility to give us some of the lowest insurance rates that are in the industry, but we keep people safe at the end of the day. That's what it's about. We wanted to have a happy face coming back, so we retrain our employees and make sure they know how to do it on a monthly basis. We make sure that system standards and safety industry standards are always followed. So safety is a big core, but we bring that into the culture of what we're building with Rebounderz.
Where are you taking the company next?
Where are we taking it? Well, the next step is where we've moved off of just trampolines. We're going into family entertainment centers. We have Ninja Warrior courses, zip lines, ropes courses. We're getting electric go-karts, virtual reality. We've got some new things that are kind of, we'll call it gamifying trampolines, which is kind of putting together, we haven't finished it yet, but putting together electronic games as well as trampolines. So you're in the middle of a video game, if you will. So that's some really cool stuff coming. So.
It really sounds interesting. Are you growing the company organically only, or are you taking on new investors to accelerate the expansion?
We're doing three things, to tell you the truth. We definitely want to build larger facilities. And just let me step back for a second. Most trampoline parks in the industry are 15 to 30,000 square feet. Our average family entertainment center starts at 40,000 square feet. Next one we're putting in Sacramento is 55,000 square feet. Georgia, 65,000 square feet. So we're focused on bigger with more attractions, more things to do. People stay longer. You build volume and frequency by doing this. And let alone more food and more games and so forth get purchased. But bottom line is our growth is really 50 to 100,000 square feet. Our focus is family entertainment, but bridging family entertainment with the adult entertainment. Going more into having beer and wine, maybe some light alcohol, being on the lines of Topgolf, Dave & Buster's. That's our direction with a core of family to allow us to go to those next levels. People come to family entertainment centers, definition is more than 5 attractions in a facility, and they come there from a 15 to 20-minute radius of their home. So building these larger centers to be more of a destination entertainment complex that brings the whole family, but bridges to that corporate world so that we can do corporate events, team building events, having different ways of new revenue streams coming in there, but along the lines of a Topgolf, Dave & Buster's main event, those types of facilities. So that's where we're heading. We are building corporate stores, but we are also bringing in joint ventures. Yes, we're looking for investors to come in from a private equity world to help us build the bigger units. And we will continue to franchise. If I had my druthers, I probably wouldn't franchise as much, but it's a 3-prong approach: corporate stores, joint ventures, and franchising as we move forward in the right specific demographic markets.
And the new stores that you're opening up in the near term are where?
Right now, we have Sacramento will be opening up in just a few months. Warner Robins should be open up by the end of the year. Warner Robins, Georgia. Tampa, Florida will be next, and then we're working on one in LA. And I'm looking, we've identified it, but we're looking for a flagship facility here in Orlando to be about 100 to 120,000 square feet.
Wow, that's fantastic. I've covered quite a bit of ground with you in a short period of time. Is there any messages that you'd like to get out to our audience that I may have missed?
I think if you look at Rebounderz and the history first of family entertainment centers have always been around. There's always been that little local place to go to and do different things. Looking for a chain, there's very few family entertainment chains out there, and that's where we're taking that niche, where we combine the family to adults. So we're going into a space that hasn't really been tapped well from a chain point of view, a brand point of view, and looking at something different. That's what we do. There are plenty of adult entertainment facilities, the iFlys, the Dave & Buster's, the Topgolfs that have focused on an adult crowd, but this is something special and unique. It's not a theme park, but we are very close to a theme park where you can get, because we're starting to do memberships now, half-day admissions, all-day admissions, versus trampoline parks, you'll come in for an hour or two. We're going so much more above. There's so many more activities to do for the whole family, young adults, demographics for our business when we started was about 7 to 13. We've grown to about 4 to 45 plus. So, we're getting a huge demographic shift, which if you look around, not many competitors are in that space that brings in the family market. So if you're looking for a great investment, either working with us on a corporate side or a joint venture, or looking for a great long-term franchise investment, I think you should really be looking at Rebounderz.
Great. Tim, thanks for being a guest on the show. Really appreciate this.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks very much for your time.
You're welcome. All right, you've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and sign up as a subscriber to our YouTube channel and also our video email list on the homepage of our website. Thanks for watching.